Yes. That's why I
Yeah.
say he's a good unit, but wrong meta right now. They should have gave him endurance or something.
Endurance would have been greedy as hell, but I would have loved it.
But
All right, let's start.
uncountable. But that'd be uncountable.
Oh, for
Uncountable.
sure.
This is Kid Joe, and you're listening to the Rising Rush Podcast.
All right, welcome to the Rising Rush Podcast, where we talk everything Dragon Ball Legends related, such as news, meta, hot takes, you name it. I am your host, A-Town, alongside our co-hosts, Obsto, Desla, and Glow. We've got a special guest with us tonight. He has a total following of around 34,000 spread between Twitter and YouTube. He's gone God rank over a dozen times, and he's also the 2023 Dragon Ball Legends Battle Hour champion. Please welcome Kid Joe. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks.
All right, let's go ahead and kick things off with the weekly reset as of the 14th of August. First things first, we've got the Legends Limited Step Up Return of the Demon Terror featuring Broly, Videl, and the EX Gohan. That's currently out now through the 4th of September with the ×2 Z Power. The Chrono Crystal sales have also reset. The campaign Kakarot featuring the free-to-play Goku that is currently out now through the 4th of September. PvP has also reset with the Dual Space Time featuring Broly. That's going to be going on from the 14th of August through the 27th of August. The new raid boss Gohan, that new raid begins as of the 16th of August. We've also got the Saga from the movies medals. Those are also in-game. You're able to collect those in exchange for materials and other Z-Power through the 9th of October. We've also got the Equipment Bonanza that is also live through the 24th of August. We've also got the Battle Royale that also begins as of the 16th of August, and that's going to go to the 23rd of August. Featuring tags is going to be the name Broly or the Sun Family tag, so get your teams ready for that. And then also Tournament of Power has also reset, and that's going to be going through the 27th of August. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this EX Gohan in the banner. Kid Joe, we'll start off with you. So you've already gone through the banner already. Like, how many stars have you got some of these units here? Like, do you have the Gohan EX at a high star?
Yeah, the EX is 7 stars for me.
And how much CC did you spend on the overall banner as well? It had to be a lot to get that EX those high stars.
Let's see. No coins. I don't know what that equivalent to. That might be like 70,000 something. 70.
And did you use any of the actual coins that you used for the summon?
I use them for 600 Z powers and tickets and a 200 Z power for the most part.
All right, and let's go ahead and move on to you, Glow. So I know you haven't had the best luck in the banner. Like, how much did you spend before you actually saw your first copy?
Oh.
What luck?
Toshi, if you ever hear this podcast, I want you to know you will not see a cloud, a speck, a droplet of heaven. I hope you know that, bro. Oh my God. I had to go to pity. Not almost pity. I literally, the multi right before pity, I pulled him. And I will say this to any of our listeners and our viewers. Use your coins on Z Power first. I wanted to be ballsy because I was feeling it. I knew it wasn't the right idea, but I said, fuck it. I had 50 coins. I turned all them bitches to tickets. I felt like gambling. I got 15 tickets worth of Z medals, and that's all I got. I didn't pull Broly once.
Wow, and you spent every single ticket on the summon. Did you see any of the units besides, like, the Brawly, or you only got them once, or how many times did you see Videl?
I got one single copy every single time. I didn't even pull Videl on the ticket.
And how much of a percentage do the tickets give? Like, isn't it like 20% or something like that, or 25%?
The
I think it's like
increase on the
25%.
tickets, yeah. I ain't see Videl once. I ain't seen Broly's a 5% on that bitch.
Man, that's crazy. So for you going as far as that deep in the banner, I mean, you got to be a movie's vivid main to go ahead and do that. But what about you, Desla? How far did you go into the banner, or is this going to be a hard skip for you?
It's a skip. So the big thing for me that inhibits me from hopping in it is just that one, it's honestly a bad banner. There's really no way around it. So that's one. Two, I don't main PO movies, anything like that. So I really could care less, to be honest with you. So that's two. 3, to be completely honest with you, until we see how the rest of this campaign shakes up.
Ooh.
Hey, bro, I don't want to hear from the gambling addict, bro. Go ahead and waste some more coins, man.
Damn.
Anyway. So
The gambler
It's
quit
only
before he
addiction
hit
if I lose.
exactly, the gambler's gonna try and like
Exactly.
pipe up with his opinion,
Listen.
bro. Good lord. Anyway,
Listen.
Uh-huh.
You don't lose until you hit. So I've hit. I haven't lost.
this guy at Vegas.
How much
is gonna
CC
be a
did you
menace,
spend?
man.
How much
Jesus
CC did you
Christ.
spend, Glow?
Like 40K.
You've
Over
lost.
40K.
40K? Fucking 40K for one coffee? Yeah, bro, you lost.
Listen.
That's a W, dude. That's a W.
I lost. Listen, I lost the war, but I lost the
Toshi.
war, but I won the battle.
That's a W for Toshi. Toshi got the W.
Toshi can go fuck himself for all I care right now.
Hey, now, Toshi, just throwing that out there. Whatever Glow is saying right now, we do not follow suit. I'm just letting you know, we do not follow suit.
Yeah, we don't affiliate with him. Okay, his opinion is his own.
He's not affiliated with me.
Y'all just,
Exactly.
wow, y'all dip
Yeah,
on
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yo, Toshi, you see how spineless you made this community? Come on, dog.
Hey, man, we're just out here trying to protect ourselves, bro. Because we're not trying to get our accounts hacked and get our luck taken away. You can take that for yourself. Besides, like, the banner itself, it's really not that bad. I thought there were some pretty good units on there.
All right.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think the banner's overall okay.
I think it's
good, honestly.
I-
For the other olive banners that we've been getting, they're pretty trash. At least we got Nappa and Gogeta.
Oh, yeah.
Nappa and
Compared to-
Vegeta. The other way, if you compare them to the other olives, it's way better.
yeah. You got Namek,
Oh.
but you got Videl. She's solid. You got Namek Goku. He's solid. Pycon. I don't know why everybody's kind of trying to push that Pycon's gonna get a plat for this. I don't see it, but if he does, I'll be hyped.
He got that revival. He's so decent for problem.
The problem, for problem, yeah, but in like the primary form of rank, it's like nothing. Gogeta has his own issue. Gogeta's only has like a small issue, which is he needs cut pen and he needs actual type neutral, not defensive type neutral. Pycon is a liability. Pre-transformation, his gauge is not good enough for that hassle you have to get through.
Yeah, his gauge is terrible.
No, my third reason I was getting at earlier with for the reason why I'm not touching the banners is because of the fact that, again, like, I'm in a position to where I'm praying that they continue having the headliners for these banners upcoming for like this campaign in particular just being like villains, so that I can actually save for Fest, because my main tag of interest that I mean personally obviously is Sun Family, so I'm trying to pray to God they don't go the good guy route for any kind of characters they want to drop, because if they do that, it's an 80% chance it's gonna be a Goku or something along those lines, and at that point,
So I can definitely see and understand, you not summoning because there's no Sun Family units in it. But I mean, we are gonna get the Dragon Fist Goku, the Zenkai, probably within a week, right?
Oh, Zenkai, Dragon Fist.
oh, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm excited to use them. But no, yeah, my third reason though is that like for me, besides obviously wanting to save, it's just a matter of where, again, like I think like Joe was mentioning it like a little bit ago, but this just isn't his time. It really isn't. He needs to really have the rest of this campaign actually be out in the game to actually truly see what his potential can end up being, and even then, like whatever unit's coming out that's going to have to facilitate that has got some lofty standards on their shoulders, because again, that like supposed dream third character that's going to make the whole team work for movies, like they got to be doing a lot. So it's it's a matter of where you got a lot of boxes to check with that, and I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't see it happening, but I mean, I'm not really opposed to being wrong either. Again, I could give two shits about movies, so whether it's good or bad, I really don't care. But overall,
well, fuck you too.
I mean, hey, bro, this is why you didn't get shit with those coins, man. But no, yeah, it's just a matter of where for me, like, there's no reason to summon.
And then what about you, Opsto? I know you're the Androids mate, so you're definitely skipping this banner, right?
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yo, this man.
I mean, like, the thing about this movies campaign is that I do really think that Android 13 is definitely on the table to get a new unit or even an LF, like, in this campaign. So my dream banner would be like an LF transforming 13 with like a tag 1%, 14, and 15.
That fuse into what?
No, they don't fuse. They're just a tag unit. like just a 1% tag unit.
Oh, okay.
For 14 and 15, yeah.
Yeah, we're so used to tag units just fusing nowadays. Yeah, it's just going to be a traditional tag unit similar like the Ginyus.
But yeah, this is a mega hard skip for me.
And how much CC do you got saved up right now?
I got 71k CC right now.
Jeez. So about this time, you might get all the way up to like 100k CC, huh?
Probably
Okay.
not because I genuinely think we could be getting like Android 13 like pretty soon. If I'm wrong, then yeah, I will easily eclipse over 100.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on and start talking about these units here. We know we have the EX Gohan, the Videl, and the Broly. We'll start off with the EX Gohan and you, Kid Joe. You currently have them at pretty decent stars, right? And I also seen that you made a video about it, right?
Yeah, I use him for a video.
And what do you think of the units overall? Is he
Pretty
usable?
good. He's pretty good. He's blue. You know, his main heals his team. I don't really read kits, but he did pretty good for me. But then again, I'm in the low rank, so you know, PvP just reset. So you have to wait maybe a week to actually see how he does.
Yeah, and I see that there's like crit within the kit, so you may be able to utilize him to buff the other units.
Yeah, so you can remember
Only to
Bardock.
Videl. If I remember correctly, he has this weird passive where, well, the first passive is 30% crit rate to allied characters, Videl. And he has this weird thing where he applies certain effects to either himself or his allies based on who's on the team. Like, if it's a Goku, that's 30% to blue card damage. If he has a Goten, that's 30% to overall damage, and he gains a Dragon Ball at the start of the turn of the match. And then if it's Videl, he gives 30% damage to all allies. He got solid stuff, but it's like he's reliant on a unit like Videl.
I see. So it sounds like this unit is just purely for novelty, or maybe individuals who just recently started the game, they're not going to have all of the essential units, so they'll just, utilize the front three if it's, the only units that they got, right?
It's novelty. I mean, that was quite literally the only reason why I was even mildly tempted to jump in the banner, just because he's Sun family, but like Vegito. So, like, why would I really care?
Yeah, so it looks like we have a group assessment here that this Gohan is purely just for novelty for what he's doing right now, providing the damage up and the crit for Videl.
Oh, he's absolutely a novelty, but to go off of what Desla was saying, there was a point years and years ago where I jumped into a banner just to get an EX. it was fucking EX Purple Super 17 from the 3rd anniversary, and that's because like Androids was hurting so bad.
That.
Like I needed a purple so bad, man.
Bro, did you go
And
deep on that banner too?
I didn't go deep, no. Like I went to the banner until I got Super 17, which was like 2 rotations, and then I dipped.
You got lucky there.
God.
Way more.
He'll catch people off guard, but he's ain't crazy.
Interesting. So like for this Gohan to even be usable, it sounds like he'll need more like modern, stuff within his kit, which I mean we can't really expect too much from an EX.
You can run the support Videl. I guess you can run the Ultra Golden Freezer, but not many people have them. You can run Broly, but I think they're still missing a key unit that can be run in its meta. If you run Broly, the main unit, you gotta run it with UG4 just to protect them, and then Golden Frieza just for that uncancelable death, the comeback. But I think they're gonna get an Ultra that's actually gonna cover that. I think they're gonna get them with the Majin Buu Saga have how they gave Evil Buu and Ultimate Gohan uncancelable endurance. If they're on the field, obviously. But if they get a unit like that, then they're good. Like look at GT. GT needed a unit like that. They gave them Omega Shenron. And then with the 10 seconds, or is it 10 or 5 seconds when they pop the ultimate, so UG4 is not killing a unit. And if you use his type neutral wisely, you don't start off with him because I think you get 3 times every time when he swap in, and then the other time you get it when he's green. But those 3 times swap, you gotta use them wisely.
So I think we have our group assessment of this Gohan just being a novelty. So let's go ahead and move on to Videl being the next unit. I know, Glow, your luck hasn't been that great on the banner. Do you have any copies of Videl, or did you pull her at all?
Yes, I have way too many fucking copies of Videl.
Is she 14?
No. So surprisingly enough, every special animation I got was Videl. I got Broly on the most leak likely shit. It was on Green Skies. Every single Ice, Face, Jocko, Tao was Videl. That shit. Oh my god. Oh, I'm about to hurt somebody. I'm not gonna lie. She's cool. She's not what we needed. She's a support, but she's not an evil boo. And the
Yep.
worst part is she's green. Like she can be cool. She gives passively she gives 30% support after you've swapped twice, 15% on green. Her ult has hit hard a few times what I've seen. Like she can do stuff, but why use her? It's like, yeah, movies needed support, but not like this traditional. Like you need a support unit that has a strong gimmick. Long story short, Videl gives good support. It's not what we need. Evil Boo is a debuffer while supporting. Shin destroys cards and constantly seals while supporting. She just gives supports and does some shit when she's under 50%. Would be great if movies had actual supporting utility other than Frieza's comeback because it's a team of cannons. And fuck Gaku because he was supposed to be there.
I mean, it sounds like, to run with movies that Gaku would fit that team perfectly, right?
I'll be so honest with you. I'd rather run the yellow, sparking, non-LF future Gohan than Gaku. Because at least when he dies, I get card draw speed.
People are going to start running those gimmick teams at some point. So get ready for Broly to have double card draw speed. It's coming.
Oh, yeah. And I'm telling you right now, the first person going to be Ryuden.
Well, it looks like we've got Glow's initial assessment there, but what about you, Desla? What do you think about this Videl's overall kit? Do you agree with him, or do you think there's some usefulness there to what she's doing for her support?
She's just aight. That's really about it. Like, she's just kind of there.
We've had just agreeing on something? That's crazy.
I'll be honest, bro. Like, whatever. I mean, I don't know. It was just a matter of where she was not going to be like the sudden hidden savior for movies to make the dream work. It wasn't going to happen. But I mean, we've seen way better supports on release, and frankly, better supports now in terms of actual meta relevance. So it's a matter of where she's just disappointing. That's about it.
Well, I mean, she may be able to fit on other, different teams. I know she has the movies and the girls tag. Maybe you can run like an all-girls team since she's providing that kind of support. You think she'll be useful there?
I mean, she absolutely can be ran on the girls team because what other options do they have? I'll be honest. Who else are you gonna run? Third anniversary, 18.
Wait, you talking about for movies wise?
Nah, where would you run this Videl? And he said, "Oh, just run her on girls."
Girls, you never. That's not even No, you can run that blue Boma. That free to play Boma is really good.
Both of the blue Bombas are pretty good.
Yeah, so there you go. Pam, you can run Pam. There you go. Yeah, when she goes 50%, she disrupts. Yeah. Or then she takes away your key, or I don't know. I don't really read kits.
She takes away key. If I remember correctly, she heals the team somewhere. I forget if it's on main or
on main.
Yeah. Oh, main. Yeah. So this is a stupid thing about her. She is useless until she falls below 50%. Because a lot of good stuff in her kit is locked behind her being below 50%. Including the team. If I remember correctly, the team heal is 15%. The 15% team heal, that's base in her kit. The big heal to herself, she needs to have fallen below 50%. I think that kind of style is stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It is kind of silly that she doesn't really heal that much within his kit. Like, why would they try to just gimp her kit like that? I don't understand.
It's dumb. Like, they have this weird, I don't know what it is. And I think part of it is because they're seeing, the devs have a very stupid, and I mean extremely stupid, way of viewing things. At one moment, they will overrate a mechanic. At the very next moment, they will then overrate it and then underrate it right back again. Like, how would I say? Like, when we had Pan, right? Pan was giving 40% power reduction constantly. We have never seen a unit like that since. Until now, then we get MVP 17. He had his big power reduction on big moves. It took us ages. And I mean, ages to get other units that had that power reduction. Now they sprinkle it on. It's like only like 5%, 10%. That's not enough. That's barely shit. And then some units will give it like a blot, like Super 17 or Ulton. And it's like, what is the depth? Like, what is going through the mental process of why make certain things so small and negligible that it's just ass?
Yeah. And I mean, if he had a kit similar to what like MVP 17 has, then, you know, this unit would be definitely on point. I mean, I can see MVP 17 coming back just with a Zenkai bench. As soon as he gets that, it's a wrap.
I
Me
don't
when
think
I lie.
I don't
Me
think
when I lie.
he needs more than that. He's still like he's very very much like very close to falling very far off, but he could still do okay as just like being in the background doing his stuff while other two units carry his ass.
Wouldn't carry, I'll tell you that.
I still think 17 MVP 17 is useful just because his kit.
He's still useful, but you just keep him in the back.
Yeah, keep it back. Even with a Zenkai, you'll still be OP. He will never fall because his kit is the best, one of the best kit in the game, aging kit.
Like I use this as someone.
That's why he will be usable.
I say this as someone who absolutely mains the tag and used the fuck out of him. If he's the only unit you got left, just forfeit. Unironically. Unless like you really think you can win, and like you're fighting like a red or something, just forfeit.
I don't know if you can say that main and go that type neutral and you haven't wasted none of your vanish. Because remember, you get 2 vanish once engaged.
Yeah, you can. You absolutely can.
But is he doing that a lot? No, 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, exactly. If you already used him, yeah, he's a bum.
But if it was when he first came out, he probably could have done it.
Oh yeah. Or when he first came out, I think he was fucking fantastic.
If he go on future boost again or Z tier boost, I think it'd be useful.
I think his biggest thing is that like the support he does is timeless. The problem is
absolutely
it's his own durability that's always been the big issue. He needs not only does he need a Zenkai bench, but he borderline like Super 17 helps him tank because Super 17 when he's in has his own power debuffing when the opponent does a big move. Same thing while MVP does it both when he's on the field or off the field. That in tandem with each other lets you tank. So that's why when Super 17 first came out, it was like, okay, droids can kind of still keep up. But then you saw that, MVP himself he's too fragile, even with all that power reduction. He needs.
Hence why I'm on my hands and knees praying for 13 to come out soon.
Exactly. Not only does he need a Zenkai, he needs a plat too.
I don't know. I think he just needs a plat. If they make the plat really good, I think it'll be useful.
Oh, absolutely. He really does not need much. Like, if anything, like, the thing he needs most is just pure defenses. That's it.
Yeah, I think if we get a really broken plat, like how they did, who's that plat? Like how they did Kibble. Kibble plat pretty good, or Broly plat. They do something like that, maybe a little better. He'll be usable. I don't think he needs a Zenkai. I don't think he needs Zenkai.
No. 17 is still going to be useful for, like, a year from now or something.
So I think we got our overall assessment on this Videl. Like, she's a good support for what she is for movies, but it seems that movies still need that key player to go with the actual synergy here. But let's move on and talk about this Super Saiyan Broly.
Oh, let me start. Hold on, let me start. I call this one. Broly is a phenomenal unit that you do not need. That is literally it. Broly is a phenomenal unit that you do not need. And the reason for it is this. Broly's main argument right now is that he is a slightly better CMZ. However, because he's a slightly better CMZ, a unit that is essentially just all full balls to the wall offense, he does not change the meta in any way, shape, and form drastically. The meta is essentially the exact same with Broly here and with him gone. And the biggest problem against him is UG4, because UG4 is anti-combo units. Broly is meant to be a combo unit. However, I will say Broly has a bunch of great things in his kit. And if UG4 dies, Broly is going to be extremely well for that. His blue card locks in after it hits one time for 5 counts. It's forcing your opponent to like have a little bit of a bad situation His green card is solid, gets key damage, restores health. And this is the pre-transformation part. Gets key damage, restores health, gives you a blue card once, and debuffs the enemy, and you can chain it. His main ability, you want to pop his main ability when you have the full gauge. It takes you like 4 to 5 cards to fill it up because it'll draw you 2 cards, heal you 50% and give you 50 key, give you your vanish back, and essentially remove all your downgrades and abnormal conditions. If you have the full gauge, you get an additional 20% and you destroy your enemy cards. And you get it in 20 counts, so it's pretty good. His big thing with his gauge is that like his big thing in his kit that he wants to do is free transformation. You want to fill up his gauge. And that's really it. Once you have filled up his gauge, you want to be able to time the right moment that you get it. Because he also has this effect that both sides share where if you kill an enemy, you get cards, damage, you get cards, a permanent damage buff, and card draw speed, and your vanish back. It's cool. I hate that it's not shared on both sides. But Broly's main thing is you get the gauge, and you just want to find the right opportunity to transform. Once you transform, that's essentially when, like, all right, now you're cooking. He essentially has Evo Ken's gauge, but the main difference between him and Evo Ken is that Evo Ken was reliant on greens to really get their gauge. Broly, you get your gauge in like 4 or 5 cards. Like you can get the gauge off like 2 or 3 times in a combo. It is not that hard. His big thing, obviously, being the lock-in. I know me and Kid Joe had mentioned it, is that his lock-in is situational. Compared to UI, which actually locks you in, Broly essentially forces you to, if you trigger it, it forces you to waste a swap. Now, normally you're like, okay, yeah, I'll just burn another swap. Burning another swap to stop one combo is the worst value, one of the worst value trade-offs you can do in the game. If you do that, now you've essentially forced yourself into a situation where, great, now I have no swap outs. If my opponent somehow gets off my vanish, then I'm cooked. You're going to have to eat another combo that you can't really stop against a unit like Broly, who will just keep generating these cards. His blue card hits reasonably hard, especially with the 20% cut pen and on the main ability, it's type neutral. It does get weaker the less enemies there are. It's stupid, but it is what it is. His green card's about the exact same post and pre, except now he draws a random card every time, and he actually cancels buff effects 3 times, which is solid. So if you're fighting against a yellow that's type neutral, you pop that green, you get rid of that defensive type neutral. But yeah, Broly is like, he also had his other big thing, and it's why I don't agree with people saying he has no utility. One, obviously, his lock-in gives 100% health restore debuff for 10 counts, which is really good against units like Ulton or Kid Buu, because if you get them low enough and proc that, then they essentially heal back with 1% HP, and you can simply tap attack them. His big thing to me that, and it's really his only utility, is that on cover change he goes type neutral, reduces the enemy key by 50, heals his own HP by 15%, gets his own key by 30, and he reduces the enemy card draw speed by, if I remember correctly, it's for like one time account, and he gives 15% minus to strike and blast arts power and 20 minus 20 the special move ult and awaken arts power. I don't think that's necessarily too crazy, but you take that in tandem with a unit like his best partner, which is Green Omega. And if Omega has his Dragon Ball and you use it defensively, then you've just reduced 50 key with Broly. And then Omega, if I remember correctly, his own is, don't quote me now, it is let me check just to make sure I'm reading it correctly. Yeah, if the enemy, where is it? Defensively. Yeah, reduce the key by 50. So you reduce 50 key with Broly, you reduce 50 key with Omega. You've just reduced your opponent's key down to 100. No character, unless you have main or maybe even like attack switch, is like continuing to combo after that. And that's why a unit like Omega is his best partner. It sucks that Omega's ranged, but it's his best partner. But yeah, bro, and the thing is, if you have CMZ, him and Broly follow similar roles. CMZ, I'd argue, is more durable. Broly is way better in the damage and sniping department. But if you have CMZ, do not summon, and you don't make movies, don't summon for Broly. You don't need him.
So it seems that this Broly is really doing a lot, but like CMZ is literally his direct competition for a powerful opponent. I mean, in my personal opinion, I feel like the ceiling between CMZ and Broly are different. For example, CMZ already has a Zenkai and he already has his platinum equip. Meanwhile, Broly, there's still a lot more potential for him to grow, such as them releasing additional equipment, things of that nature. Maybe it could be other parties to kind of help boost his synergy here.
So the big thing about Broly is that he actually already has access to some really good equips. He has access to that new PvP equip that's solid. He has access to the legendary Super Saiyan equip. He's the only character that can actually get the full buffs. It's 10% HP, 25% to both offenses, 10% special move, and then 20% damage inflicted if this character is PO. That is one of the best character equips they've been given in this game. He also has access to Historic Showdown. Historic Showdown is a good equip, but it is incredibly niche. And I feel like the devs are purposely avoiding ever giving a Gogeta or Broly an optimal team to run that equip. Because it's 10% ult, special move, HP, and then 15% to both offenses, but you need 3 Saiyans and 3 movie characters.
Yeah, but what about Gaku and running with the Super Saiyan Broly? Since there's some utility there. Like Goku has power down, and this Broly also has power down. So having those stack, would that add some utility there for him?
I tried it, and it does okay damage wise, but the Gaku's a bum.
Dang, so much Gaku hate. It's ridiculous here.
I want you to keep saying that when he loses boost, like in a month.
Oh my god, I will be on the front lines hating.
Once Gaku removes off a boost as well, like the other units that were within the anniversary will also be removed on boost. So I don't really see much of a change with the damage and also with the tankiness. He's still going to be able to tank a UG4 ult just like he's doing now once he's removed off boost. All right, and then we'll move on to you, Kid Joe, because we know that you went pretty deep in the banner since you have the EX Gohan in a high star. Do you have the Brawling in the red, or how many stars do you have him at?
Yeah, I think he's 9-star.
Do you think that the CMZ is better than the Brawly, or do you think that Brawly has potential to be better than CMZ?
I think CMZ. Yeah, I agree, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the reason why. CMZ, yeah, but even in your case, it's still hard to compare them because one have a Zenkai and one have a platinum. Well, one's a Zenkai and have a platinum. Because on release, CMZ were trash. I didn't like him at all. He couldn't tank. He couldn't do anything. All he was a damager, but his defense was trash. But I'll tell you the reason why. Yeah, Broly does the debuff and all that stuff. But let's say if none of the units have a cancel, let's say they try to swap into Gohan and you rush with Broly, he's living. But it seems he is hitting somebody in rush and they swap into Gohan, that's a dead Gohan. Or any revival, or any endurance units. And that's the big thing why I think CMZ clears. And then he destroys your whole hand and take away your whole key. And then he gets his vanish back off a kill. Oh yeah, it locks you in for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and you go type neutral. And his damage does a lot. His strikes are ridiculous.
Well, I can definitely understand how some people can put CMZ over Broly, but I believe with CMZ's green card, it does increase the sub count. So I'm not sure if it actually locks, but I think it increases by like 3 or 5 sub counts or something like that.
No, I think it locks you in, right? I thought it was it's a lock-in. It's a lock-in.
Hold on, let me look it up. I think it's sub count increase.
I thought it was locked in. I'm pretty sure you locked in.
For CMZ?
Yeah, the green, it's lock-in, right?
They upped it to 5 counts now. It's sub counts up.
Oh, sub count.
I mean, that's still good.
Yeah.
I think
Sub counts is slightly worse than actual lock-in when it's like a small amount, but it's negligible.
Well, it depends. If you're running Omega, then he comes in right away, regardless. But that's against any ultimate, any cards. But anyways, I would say CMZ because at 5 seconds now, all units are going to be able to come in. But with Broly, yeah, you can get up to low health, but if you don't give them low health, they can still swap into the second unit. But Glow made a sense where he said you're wasting a swap. But if you're playing an advanced player, they know how to work like that. If you're playing a godly player or even player that are really advanced, they can work with it and won't biting on the tap or the tackles or the blast.
Well, once Broly transforms and he gets the draw card art speed and stuff, I feel like he's just going to be able to pump out more damage than, the other units, unless you run into like Majin Buu Saga or something, right?
But that doesn't really affect because right now the best team is the Majin Buu Saga. If you run that Kid Buu, he he cancel your card, not cancel your card draw speed, but he drops a level. So that 2 card level wouldn't even work on Kid Buu.
I will say this. I just ran some sets with ZVG. He's probably going to use it for a video, but he actually ran Majin Buu Saga against my team with Broly, which was Broly, UGF, and GB. And from what we were gathering just from like a bunch of these spars, it was like neck and neck. Was that the biggest asset of Broly is the fact that if any of you like, it's very good against Ulton. If I can catch Ulton lacking, because both like me and ZVG against any other person, I will play dumb aggressive. Against ZVG, I gotta start playing passive. I gotta start being methodical and everything. Because if I know you're a good player, I immediately change my play style. If I don't know you, I will play like a complete idiot because I'm just trying to get the match over with and done. I'm not thinking too deep about it. But with Broly, it was like his Ulton, I would try and focus on doing any sort of damage with whoever. And if Ulton was there, I was like, all right, I'm going to immediately switch into Broly, start getting off of the damage. He's either going to have to, 1, give up the first life, or 2, risk that swap and take that lock-in damage and hope he does not get to 1%, to 1 life left. Because if he gets down to 1 life, he's tap attack range.
But did he run Kid Buu?
Yes, and I'll get to that. Kid Buu, Broly can't combo against Kid Buu.
Told you.
He can't. Because Kid Buu constantly has the
downgrade.
The downgrade. It is annoying to combo, especially if you're nowhere near gauge. The only time you can really get away with it is if you're near gauge and you pop your main to go tech neutral. And you could do solid damage then. But if not, don't do it. Against Evil Buu, Broly is doing like on a raw blue card, not even a raw blue card. On a blue card I had with combo comp, it did like 50% to Evil Buu.
And how is Broly doing with just doing damage to Majin Buu Saga? Is he actually putting up a good fight?
And it was solid. I won't lie. It was very good damage with combo comp, and if I remember correctly, I was debuffed from Ulton. Like, he does good damage. His snipe does have situations where it can kill somebody right then and there or force them to make these awkward situations. But there are answers to him in the meta. Just like Kid Joe was saying, like, Kid Buu has like one of the best answers to him, which is this constantly card draw speed debuffing.
So it seems that Broly's worst teams to go against right now that would actually cause him any kind of trouble would either be Majin Buu Saga or Regen, since the green Evil Buu is on there, or maybe Fusions too, right?
And the Fusion, I think the Fusion team, if you're playing regular PvP, the UG4 and the Fusions, I think those
UG4 fucks him over, and Kid Buu. SV, you could argue too, but at the same time, it's like SV, he's going type neutral. The advantage of Kid Buu is not everybody runs blast defense, so blast units are burning through everyone.
Well, the thing with Broly, if you get rid of that FSV pre-transformation, destroying your cards, and you show your card, you can swap into somebody else, and you can probably kill him. You can probably catch him.
Yeah, 100%.
But the defense is not that good. Oh, my bad.
Now let's go ahead and talk about like Broly's defenses here, because I've been hearing a lot of smoke within the community that he is just fragile, he can't take a hit, etc., etc. But looking at his stats post transformation maxed out at high 190 double defenses, my brain tells me that he can tank alongside with his power down that he has when switching in. Is the community onto something with his tankiness, or is it still too early to tell?
No. The thing with the community is that people aren't understanding that units aren't fragile. Units aren't disruptive enough. In reality, no unit is tanky, truly tanky. But the thing is, units have met ways to disrupt stuff. Broly's disruption is very small. That's why it seems like, this Broly's fragile. Also, it's early season. Get a fucking grip, dog. You're fighting 3 and 4 star Brolys.
That's true. So like you haven't even seen like the full power yet, and as people go up in the ranks and get him at high stars, then his tankiness is going to probably show at a better light.
Exactly.
Understood. So yeah, it may be a little too early to tell with Brawly's utility and tankiness. I think over time, as people start getting at higher stars, we're going to see his value increase exponentially. But what about you, Opsto? Have you ran into this Brawly once, or what is your assessment on this Brawly overall?
I've ran into Broly a single time, and I was telling the guys this right before we started recording, but I noticed fifth anniversary free to play Blue 13 is in Z tier. You know, a relatively recent unit. So I decided to use it like as a joke in PvP, and I'm just one shotting people left and right using this guy.
Oh my
It's
god.
absolutely nuts. And the first time and only time I've ran into this Broly, he got one shot by 1-year-old free to play Blue 13.
That's why him being on the Z tier list and him getting all the damage. I mean, not a lot of people are expecting the usage of him or him just doing that much damage, huh?
I was dumbfounded when he was doing so much damage.
That's actually insane. And what's the combo potential for the free to play 13? Is he able to do good damage in a combo, or is it just purely off of his blue card?
His combo potential is pretty good because of when he uses main, he gets double card draw speed. He also gets like a permanent damage buff.
Well, actually pretty good. And then Opsa, what do you think about the overall Brawly? Like, is this a must summon, or is it just stick to CMZ at this point?
It's like what Glow said. He's a phenomenal unit that you really don't need if you don't main any of his like main teams, like movies. So like again, if you have CMZ and you don't main movies, you're fine. But like if we're in another meta and this Broly is like doing fantastically, like you're probably gonna regret it. But as of right now, he's not better than CMC.
And Kid Joe, do you think that people would need to summon for this Brawly? Like, do you think he'll grow in value, or is it just completely a hard skip at this point for this Brawly?
I'm gonna wait until that Super Saiyan 3 Dragonfish Goku get his Zenkai and we know his kit. And that'll determine where Broly's at.
So do you think once that Goku drops, that's going to increase the synergy related to Brawly's usage since both of them are movies?
I think so because Goku's probably gonna cover his blue because I think Broly is blue, and then you're gonna run the Fusion Gogeta to cover the purple for him.
And then what about you, Desla? I know you've stated that this is a hard skip, but do you think this Brawly has any kind of usage here, or is he a must-use on powerful opponent or any of his teams?
It's a matter of where this is just not the right meta for him, for one, and two, it's like what's already been like kind of glossed over already. Like at this point, just if you're a veteran with an account that's even like a couple years old, you should have CMZ's Zenkai done. So it's a matter of where there's really just no need to hop on the banner at the moment right now, even if you're a movies main, because we have no idea what they're going to drop for the rest of the campaign and if it'll actually help Broly get like a really strong leg up on CMZ or if it won't. We have no
I mean,
idea.
to be fair, if you're a movies man, you're summoning. You like ain't no don't summon if you're a movie man. You niggas chose this shit. You ride and die for it. It's that simple.
You know, most people are pretty, wishy-washy for movies mains, though, and especially with this campaign being announced. I mean, I'm sure most people are gonna probably jump ship and just say for Fest. So,
Oh
keep
yeah,
it real.
there's gonna be people who say for fest. Like obviously, I don't. The reason I tell people to main teams is I'm a sports nigga. Maining teams is like rooting for your sports team. It's a lot more fun when you stick with shit. But I honestly think what we're witnessing right now is Broly at his worst. I think this is I think this is Broly at his worst because we don't know what the other two banners are. We're getting at least two other banners because they said this is going to be from three movies. So far, they at least from the summonable units, they said it's three movies. The Zenkais and everything else are going to be either from Z movies or out others movies that aren't Z.
Wait, you said we get
So,
3 banners?
so at the announcement when they gave the trailer, they said they're going to get three. We're going to get summonable characters from three different movies, Z movies. However, at the end of it, they also said the Zenkais and the free-to-play units will be from not only Z movies, but from movies that aren't from Z too. So we might get Super, which it's implying that we're gonna get like free to play or Zenkais for stuff for like superhero. I mean, not superhero, Resurrection F and Battle of Gods and like that kind of shit. Maybe superhero.
I mean, they could do some superhero stuff like the 1% Gammas.
They could, but when it comes to the Z movies, we're like, all right, what because Broly's in LF. What people are guessing is there's three options. Either we're gonna get 3 LF banners, we're gonna get 2 LF banners and an Ultra, or we're gonna get a Mega Rising and then an LF/Ultra. One of those two. That's what people are guessing because we haven't had a Mega Rising in ages. And if I remember correctly, around this time is when the last one was around this year. Because before that, what was the last Mega Rising? Yeah, the last Mega Rising we had was because I know usually they do 2. They do one in the first half.
It was a couple months ago, right? It was the War Tour Goku and Piccolo. Or was that last year?
That was not a couple months ago, man. That was like 10 months ago.
Yeah.
No, Yamcha. Yeah. No, the last one was what's that homeboy's name? Yamcha.
Oh yeah, it was
Yamcha
there we
and
go.
Goku.
Yamcha and Goku.
Oh, I forgot that was a Mega Rising.
Yeah. So they're the Mega Rising. Yeah, so they're the Mega Rising for the first half of the year. Last year around this time, if I remember correctly, that's when they did Goku and Piccolo. Yeah. So that's what people are guessing, that movies is about to get a Mega Rising of 2 units, and then the third banner will either be another LF or an Ultra.
I don't know, dude, because the month is going to end already. Because next week we're getting the Zenkai, and then the last week of August should be the Ultra.
Yeah, but they did say this campaign is going into at least mid-September.
Mid-September? Damn. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, this one gonna go for a minute.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting Ultra then. If they don't drop, if we're getting 3 banners, we're probably getting another LF and a Mega to end because they won't drop 2 Ultras in the same month of September.
I hope it's not 2 Ultras. I hope it's not an Ultra.
Nah, I don't think they would do that. Because then a lot of people in summer, because that's 2. Because let's say they dropped Ultra mid-September, right? First week September, second week September.
Yeah.
Then what? The last week of the 30th of September, we're gonna get another Ultra. Because then we'll get another LF. So I don't see them dropping any movies Ultra. So that speculate that we might get, if they don't drop an Ultra for movies, then most likely Legend Festival is going to be a Ultra movie hype unit.
There is also the fact that they've kind of upped like the schedule a bit because for the first half of this year we got 2 Ultras. We got UGF and Ultra Gohan.
Oh, because they started with GT. That's why I think because once they started with GT, the first week of January, everybody knew UG4 was coming for anniversary. That's why they didn't drop a Ultra.
Okay,
and then no, we were gonna summon for Ultra Saiyan Saga. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So I don't know if part of me tells me they'll do 2 Ultras before Fest, but I feel like I don't know. Like I don't trust these guys. I know they about to hit us with some shenanigans.
I think we're getting 3 Ultras before Legend Fest, if I'm being honest.
3? What is wrong with you?
Nigga said 3.
We're getting 3 Ultras.
You saying August, September, October, nigga?
Yep, we're getting August, September, and October. We're probably getting 3.
That's a shit ton. Yo, stop playing.
And then it's gonna be all movies. It's gonna be all movies.
And we won't get Ultra for November, but we'll get Ultra for December. But yeah, November nothing. But yeah, I think we might get 3 Ultras.
And what about you, Glow? Do you believe that Broly is worse than CMZ, or do you think Broly has a chance of being better than CMZ? Because I'm seeing his value with his lock-in and his damage potential and his key nullified key reduction. I feel like he's better than CMZ, but what do you think, Glow?
I think Broly is definitely better than CMZ. I think it'll come as time. I feel like one of the things, what's it called? And it's something I do agree with Kid Joe, is that CMZ has a better way of just rushing through endurance. However, the only unit I think that was really needed for was Ultra Gohan. And I don't think Ultra Gohan's coming back into the meta. I think the community saw how much I think the devs saw how much the community truly hated Ultra Gohan. And I think that unit is you're not going to let that go. They're going to let I guarantee you they're going to let units like GB and Ultra Gohan thrive enough that it's going to be like, yeah, they're going to keep these purples here, and Ultra Gohan is going to stay down until to the point where like he ages out. And I think that if a unit like the biggest unit that stops like Broly from functioning is just UG4. The second UG4 leaves this meta, Broly comes up. I know I just saw a tweet from Vari, and he essentially says that Broly is top 5 material, but he's at his current worst point. Because let's be honest, movies and PO is not on the same level as Fusions or Buu Saga. If a unit like this is already this strong with essentially below adequate teams, imagine if his teams get enough of a buff to put them on level of Fusions or Boost. Like Broly automatically becomes top 5 after that.
So with the Zenkai powerful opponents HP buffer, do you think that movies needs another yellow to make themselves meta relevant, or is it a different color that they need?
Broly doesn't. For yellow, he's good on both movies and PO. He has his yellow. What he needs is a green.
Dragon Fist.
For movies, he needs like what movies need. What
Oh,
movies?
Can I say something? So you're saying that you're telling people to not something for to get baby, but you gotta remember the difference between movies and GT. GT don't really get buffed. Movie gets buffed a lot. So even if people don't pick up Broly, there might be a better red later on. Cause movies are really gonna get buffed. So that's the difference between GT and movies.
That's true. That's 100% true. And I think, but however, the only thing I would raise up is that they always like making movies for like the past few years. They make movies at worst okay, not bad, but at worst movies is okay, either okay or it's the best team in the game. Like there's a certain level they're willing to let movies drop off of because they know movies is a profitable tag.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing is that they also understand that you can't just keep dropping things that match these colors and replace units. Like Beast had essentially over 6 month lifespan. Beast is now finally replaced with Broly. UGF dropped UGF essentially replaced GB.
Ultra Gogeta.
Yeah, Ultra Gogeta Blue. And Gogeta Blue lasted for 2 years now? I think that this, depending on what units they are, they're going to last. Like Broly, they PO, yeah. He's more likely to lose a spot on PO. But I think on movies, he's good for now. I think for at least movies, he's good for now. I think the movies units that they're going to definitely replace for these slots are obviously their weakest links are blue and green. That's no debate. Green has historically been movies' worst color. So I think whatever's comes is going to be green, blue, and possibly a new purple, because that would be the third weakest color.
Yeah, I mean, and we might as well just prepare ourselves for some of these gimmick teams like Super Saiyan Barda coming back into the meta, because they're going to be putting in a bunch of damage by him being a Super Saiyan. So definitely prepare for that.
They're not letting y'all run Bardock stuff again. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, we'll already start seeing a couple of people running the teams. I mean, dude just put up a YouTube video of him running a Super Saiyan team with the new Broly, putting in some crazy damage.
Oh, yeah. I saw it, but I'm telling you right now, the devs hate crit. They hate it so badly, bro. They ruined it.
I guess we have our assessment on how this Super Saiyan Broly is going to be doing in the meta. For the most part, he's doing immense amount of damage. He has some key reduction mitigation, and he has double lock-in. So it looks like the ceiling for this unit could potentially surpass Corrupted Merge Zamasu with just his overall utilization. But, it's still too early to tell. We'll have to see what the campaign does on releasing additional equipment for this Super Saiyan Broly and any other support members to kind of help, buff his viability. But let's move on to our special guest segment here for Kid Joe, where we ask him a round of questions here. I'll start off first. So Kid Joe, you went and won Battle Hour of 2023. How was your experience when you were out there? Did you have a good time, or, how was the experience overall?
Oh, it was pretty cool, dude. I met a lot of cool people. I got close with some of the content creators that were really cool. We have each other numbers now. Winning it, I honestly didn't even care. I didn't care about winning. I just went out there to just get my name out there. And if I made to the top 8, that's the only reason why I went out there. I thought I was gonna lose in the final. To be honest, Kuroto. If I play him LBR, I think he wins. If we're using main team, because he's really good at LBR player.
Ah, very nice. And did you spend a lot of time with the content creators out there and like do stuff fun as a group, or did you kind of just stick to your own group there?
No, I was just with my girlfriend. We just because I didn't really get close to them until we got to day 2. But for the most part, I left after I won it all. Went back to my hotel, and I just went back home because I had to work the next day.
Awesome. Well, at some point, I definitely want to try to go out to the next one and, try to meet some content creators out there and everything because I know that sounds like a super good time. But, Glow, what questions do you have for Kid Joe?
Okay, I got a few. Number one, if you had to have one new mechanic introduced to the game in PvP, what would it be?
Oh, a new one like in PvP, like a unit, or just like something into PvP.
Just it could be into PvP, something a unit does, a new mechanic. What would you like to add to the game?
A lot of people would say to take out Rising Rush, but I would never take out Rising Rush, and I'll tell you the reason why.
Oh my
Because
god!
let me tell you the reason why I would never take out Rising Rush. The Rising Rush is for free to play players. If free to play player were playing Whales all the time, they would lose completely. 95 to 99% of the time. Rising Rush would save them. I lost to some matches because of Rising Rush, and I can't even get mad because the stars are so low. My team was just destroying them. But if I really had to change a style of PvP, passive players that get boring. They
So
should
what would you
punish.
introduce to stop that?
I think you should just lose your vanish. If you flow all the way back, you should be able to lose half of it or lose a quarter, so you can't really do anything. So you're forced to swap out something where you lose your vanish, where you can't just wait there and PV them. At the end of the day, I hate playing passive. I can play passive. I play passive. It's cool, but I get bored and I just go back to aggressive because it's not even fun. It's just a mobile game. It's not that serious. So win or lose, I don't really care. I just care for just getting the godly rank.
All right, definitely. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I understand that. Number two, what is your favorite unit of all time in this game?
Unit? Oh, I gotta be Team Gohan. SA2.
Oh, which one?
Super Saiyan 2 Gohan from the South. The
Wait,
South.
which unit? There's a few units like that. Which one?
The Alexandra that was running the meta for was it 2 years? Almost 2 years?
Oh, you want to
FSK?
Yeah.
Hey! Oh my god, what is wrong with you, dog?
You didn't have to summon for no unit. As long as you had that good Sun family and a good bench, you could run that unit for 2 years and you have to summon at all.
Bro, I had
He would,
FSK and he was collecting dust. I refused to run him. Oh my god, you are the worst type of person.
hey, it was if you're a free to play player, that's all you needed for 2 years. You didn't have to span or summer or anything. You were good.
Oh my god,
If they
bro,
didn't drop,
fact.
if they didn't drop Blue Beast Gone, that guy would have still been running the meta until MVP drop.
No, he
Nah.
wouldn't. FSK was out of the meta like a year before Beast Gohan came out. What are
He
you
was
talking about?
also in the top rank with him. He stopped
People,
running the meta when Beast Gohan dropped because of
What?
that type neutral. Because FSK, the reason why he was so valuable is that his main, but Gohan didn't
I
care because
can't
Gohan went
recall.
back.
I can't recall running into a single
I can't
FSK.
lie, bro. FSK to me died right after Blue Rose.
Yeah, he did.
What?
I was surrounding him.
Once Blue Rose drops, I mean, hey, you do you. To most of the community, bro, he died right after Blue Rose because Blue Rose, that banner just triple Z power just
Oh,
instantly shifted the entire game, bro.
that was the best banner of my life. I think I went 40K combined for both banners for 14 every unit. I
That shit
think.
was crazy.
Nope. No, they actually might if their player base or the summer go down, they might bring back. That's the only reason why they bought triple Z power because not that many people were summering or playing the game. That would brought their players back.
It's not only just that, but they just made the Blue Boys by far like the best unit in the game. Like
Yeah.
going as so far as to surpass like the 1.5-year-old monster that had been ruining PvP. Yeah,
FXK was the best unit in the game. No,
yeah,
no
he was
debate.
for a year and a half, and everyone hated it.
And he was still the best unit aging wise to run the meta. No other unit had come close to him.
Gee, I wonder why when that entire year he ran the meta, they just released the fucking dog shit.
Oh yeah, Blue Boy's best banner ever. Nobody can, or wow, you gotta count Trunks, Future Trunks, because they're both the same, but it's different, you know. But those were the best banners to this day.
My last question is, what is your favorite hobby to do to like participate in?
Oh, I gotta play basketball.
Oh, whoa, what position?
Point guard right here.
You're a shooter. All right. I was like confident, yeah. I was about to say you Curry or you D'Lo.
I'm Curry, dude. Don't let me do that little floater on you. That's in 9 out of 10 times if you leave me right open from the free throw line. A little floater.
Right.
All right. Desla, what questions do you have for Kid Joe?
All right, so I mainly only got like one question, and it comes down to when you did that tournament, obviously, like in person ship. When you did that, what would you say was like any advice you could possibly think of from that experience that like will give you a better chance of winning like any kind of tournament, whether like it's in person or obviously hosted through Discord, Facebook, whatever the fuck.
Well, that Dragon Ball Z tournament is hard to compare to Discord tournament and Facebook tournament because the rules are different. So it's really hard to compare how to win. Well, the only thing, if I had to be honest, is just to have confidence. If you think you can win anything.
Okay, I mean that's valid. I mean, I was more so just thinking of like what to like look out for, I guess, with like when you're obviously having to like face opponents and shit in brackets.
Oh, I guess for the Facebook and Discord, I'm pretty sure 90% of the players are all the same players. So I guess you can just watch the replay and then study their play style because they're not going to change it regardless. They might change it, but that's only when they get desperate. But most of the time,
True.
they're going to play the same. And most of the time, all these terms are just all passive players.
Okay, yeah, I mean no, it's valid. The same story in ranked, obviously. So yeah, stands to reason. All right, yeah, that's all I got.
And with the meta, has it shifted? Are you seeing more passive players than aggressive players in PvP? Or what's the actual percentage of the passives versus the aggressive players that you run into? Is it more passive or is it more aggressive?
I run into a lot now. I remember before, maybe like I don't know, maybe like 6 months, I would probably run into like 2, 3 passive players a season. Now I'm running into uh at least 4, 7 of them a day, maybe like 30 matches. That's still a lot every day. But before I used to only run like 6 months. I think it was 6 months, 7 years, 7 months ago. Probably 2 to 3 passive players a season, and it just skyrocketed up. Overall, just being passive in the back. They will not run. Well, I know they try to get me because I don't figure it out until like when I'm playing aggressive and then when I'm losing. And I look at them and I remember they have low star, and then I finally figure out what they're doing. And I do the same thing, sit back and let them play for me, and that's how I win. Remember, it doesn't take. Remember, if you play passive play, you're passive. You're not good at the game. All you get is just a benefit, no skill whatsoever.
Interesting. All right, Op. So what questions do you have for Kid Joe?
All right, I got two questions. Uh, they're a little similar, but what was your least favorite unit ever to fight against?
His favorite unit. Oh, I had to be Goku and Frieza.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really like them. They were meta, but after buffs because their defense was so trash. It was just that mono. What didn't? Yeah, I didn't like fighting against them. I was using them, but I didn't really like them.
And this one kind of like goes off of the last question. But what was your least favorite meta ever?
Least favorite meta. It's a good question. They say least. You know, a lot of people would say that cooler, but that cooler was not bad. I guess it would be the Goku Frieza meta too.
Oh, bro just hates Goku and Frieza. I respect it.
All right, so that kind of finishes out our special guest segment here. Just want to give a big shout out to Kid Joe. Thank you for joining on this week's episode of the Rising Rush podcast. Here, it definitely was a pleasure of having you on, and getting your input on the meta, different hot takes, etc. So we really do appreciate you joining on today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right, so let's move on to some Dragon Ball related news. We did get a couple of trailers for the Dragon Ball Sparking game that is slowly coming upon the release here. I believe there are some trailers surrounding the Android Saga and the Cell Saga, which looks pretty dope. We've got the Trunks. They showed a different couple clips of the cell transformations, etc. So actually, it looks pretty dope.
Well, I've seen them. They're pretty solid. I'm
Has anyone else checked out the trailers that are released last week or last couple of weeks?
looking forward to the game. I already pre-ordered it. I just need a PS5 Pro to drop.
PS5 Pro? what about the PS5? Like the PS5 is still putting in work right now. Do you really need a Pro?
Man, if I'm gonna go big, I'm going big.
This guy. And did you get the collector's edition with the figurines, or did you get just a regular game or whatnot?
Nah, I got the premium collector's edition, so I got all the DLC. I just didn't get the figures.
Dope. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the figure version to restock. I'm currently on the waiting list right now, so just hoping that they actually restock and I can go ahead and cop the game. Because, man, I've been waiting for a little bit. But, I mean, that concludes the episode of the Rising Rush podcast here. Definitely tune in for next week. We talk about Dragon Ball Legends news, meta hot takes, you name it, updates related to the game. Again, shout out to Kid Joe for joining us on this week's episode. I'll be putting the social links on the description below for this episode. So if you want to go ahead and follow myself, Opsto, Desla, Glow, definitely check those out. And again, we'll talk again next week, just like we always do. So with that, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week.
See y'all later.
See ya.
Y'all be easy.
See you.